everyone, and welcome to iScience Radio, the audio program of Imperial College's iScience magazine, where we talk about all things science and have fun while we do it. My name is Jamie, and I'm your host for today's show. And on today's show, we have got an awesome lineup for you guys. With me in studio today are our amazing guests. We have our news editor, Ellen, one of our show's favorites, returning again. She's going to bring us up to date on what's happening this week in the vast and fascinating world of science. And then we have Caitlin in studio with us, who is the newest member of the iScience Radio team, and she's going to give us an awesome look at the world of superstition and the science behind it. And then we have our iScience co-editors-in-chief, Tom and Alex, who are here to give us the latest look at the upcoming Winter 2023 issue of iScience magazine. And then we have our weekly science quiz, where our esteemed guests are going to battle it out answering primary school questions, all in the hopes of winning the coveted Victor's chocolate bar fresh from the Sherfield Building's vending machine. So we have all of this and more coming up after this song. This is Fantasy by Mariah Carey. Fantasy by Mariah Carey. I really love that song. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I think it was a TikTok trend where people were just like out in the street, like skipping to that song and stuff. I don't know how old that trend is. I don't have TikTok, so I gotta wait the months before it comes up on YouTube Shorts to know all the TikTok trends. But
I would dance to it.
I would, yeah.
I did a bit of dancing to it.
I don't think you can really help but like skip down the street to that song when it comes up on your playlist.
Any Mariah song I can't avoid. It's too good. Too
Yeah,
good.
can't wait to hear all the Mariah Christmas songs in every shop ever.
It's her time of season, time of the year.
Yeah,
it's
it's
Mariah time.
Mariah time.
It's like Chico time, but Mariah time.
Well, good afternoon to all of our listeners and our in-studio guests. We have Ellen and Alex and Caitlin on with us. How are you guys doing this afternoon?
Good.
Vibing to Mariah Carey. That's what we're doing. So we're going to get into the latest in science news. We've got Ellen with us in studio today. So what's new in the news, Ellen?
So I've got two quite funky stories and one's quite physicsy, so I'll try and get my head around it as well. But the first one is about a Japanese sea worm that actually separates its posterior from the rest of its body. So it's very interesting, and scientists have basically discovered how it actually does it. So they've been known for a while, and basically during sexual maturation, when they sexually mature, these Japanese sea worm basically undergo a process called stolonization, where basically the posterior end of the worm separates, and this posterior end actually grows its own eyes, its own antennae, and it goes and travels off into the sea, and it's basically gone to go look for mates, and it can go spread its gametes, so it's got its gametes in this posterior end as well. But it's kind of confused scientists for a while because it's quite a unique way, I guess, of reproducing, but they've actually found out that the specific genes that are responsible for kind of programming ahead in the body, and they're switched on during that process of being sexually mature, and it basically, while it's still attached, allows a head to form in the middle of the worm, so it kind of has a little lump, and then it eventually separates and can go off and go find its boyfriend or girlfriend.
So does the head that gets left behind, does it grow like a new rear end, or is it just the old head's dead? I think it literally just like, so in the middle of the body it'll just separate off. So I'm assuming it'll just seal up again. And so that one will just wait while it goes and finds its
I wonder if it has its roots in asexual reproduction, because that's how it seems like a cross between the two, right?
Yeah.
Asexual reproduction involves kind of a splitting, but then there's a sexual element of it as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, because when I found out about it, I was like, oh, that's kind of a weird, like, in my head I was kind of like, what's the advantage of doing that? But they've actually said it will protect the original body from environmental dangers that it otherwise could find itself in.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But also just allows it to spread its genes, I guess, further throughout the ocean and all that kind of
once the bottom half has mated, does it just die off, or?
I don't know. I guess once it's released all its gametes, I guess. I don't know if they've actually even found that out. But I think it probably just releases its gametes and goes off on a little life. Don't know. It's done its job, I guess. But yeah, I thought that was a fun little story, and it made me want to go to Japan to try and see these and just see what happened.
Is it the only animal they've found that reproduces this way?
I think so. I think it's quite unique in the way it is, or at least in this kind of species of sea worms. I think it's quite unique in the area. But yeah, I don't know. I have to do some more research on it. But it's kind of it was kind of crazy to find it out, and I've never seen another animal or species do that before. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. Bit of a funky story. And then another story I've got for you. How many people here have had a coffee today?
Several.
I have not.
You've not had a coffee?
I don't like coffee.
I don't like coffee.
Psychopath.
Maybe I'm talking to the wrong group here then.
No, I've had 3. I count for all of us.
Okay.
You're talking to Caitlin at the moment.
Yeah, she's caffeinated up.
So, yeah.
So not only is coffee great, like taste-wise, boosting our energy, but researchers actually showing me at the University of Texas, little shout out, have found another positive effect that coffee can have on people. So they've found that there's a derivative of like used coffee grounds that can actually help fight against neurodegenerative diseases. which is very interesting. So in neurodegenerative diseases, it's basically caused by like the death of neurons or brain cells or whatever. And a lot of it is because there's a presence of like free radicals, which are basically particles, I guess, with unpaired electrons. And they can be very toxic to the body. And they've basically found that this derivative called caffeic acid-based carbon quantum dots, otherwise known as CaCQDs, can actually help destroy these free radicals within such diseases, and can basically help protect brain cells from damage caused by the diseases, which is quite a big breakthrough in kind of this like research into this disease, because there's not really any preventative measures for them. It's very much like kind of treating them as opposed to preventing them. So it's quite a big breakthrough, and it definitely, when I had my coffee this morning, I was like, oh, it's doing a lot of good for me. It's doing a lot of good for me.
I guess I'm gonna have to learn how to like coffee, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to protect yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm feeling very smug now.
Yeah.
Thank you
Exactly.
for making my
You're
day.
3 times protected.
Yeah. When you have that 5th coffee tomorrow, you'll be like, oh no, it's, you know, it's all positive. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. And
Really
then the
interesting.
last story I've got for you is a telescope array has actually discovered the second highest energy cosmic ray ever. Do you guys know what cosmic rays are?
Give us a
Little
educational.
Because we
Round
definitely
up.
know what it is.
Just in
but the
case anyone was a
listeners
big,
might
just
not,
anyone was
yeah.
a big fan. So cosmic rays are basically high energy particles, or clusters of particles that move through space at nearly the speed of light. So it's kind of a crazy thing. And I think the highest one ever measured was found in 1991. So quite a while ago. And I guess the interesting thing about them is, first of all, they travel at the speed of light, which nothing really compares to that. Like nothing else that's been found ever has got near that. So the fact that it's the second one that's been found, and I think it was nicknamed, I'm probably going to butcher this, so I apologise, but Amaterasu, which is named after the sun goddess in Japanese mythology. So she was found actually 2 years ago, but they've just released the results now. And to kind of like quantify the energy of this particle, it was recorded to be 2.4 times 10 to the 20 electron volts, which, to make it relatable, is equivalent to dropping a brick on your toe from waist height.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, well, see, I thought that didn't feel that like strong, but I think if I put my toe in the line of a brick, it would probably kill.
No.
Yeah, it'd probably kill.
I've had a rock fall on my toe from nothing like as far as that, and
Really?
it was pretty
Was it
painful.
painful?
And yeah, lost the nail.
Oh,
just
God.
everything went very black. It was
It's kind of
unpleasant.
Well, because I think I was like, oh no, it's not that big a like value, but it actually probably would kill. It probably break my toe.
Yeah, it probably would.
But yeah, they've basically found it. And like what the most interesting thing is that's kind of perplexed them is it's come from an area in the Milky Way, like bordering the Milky Way galaxy, called the local void, which is just like a empty area of space.
It's the local void.
Yeah, the local void. It's the local void. And, you know, considering how much energy this particle has within it, they'd expect it to come from kind of a source that also has a lot of energy. But the fact that it's come from that area has kind of confused them, because they can't imagine how this energy is formed, especially in that area. So it's quite an interesting one. But then scientists have said it might actually just be an area of particle physics that they're not yet aware of, which is kind of crazy. And I found like the first one that they found in 1991 had quite a funny name. So it was actually dubbed the Oh My God particle because it shocked them so much. So I thought Amaterasu as the second name was a bit more like angelic, lovely, as opposed to the Oh My God particle.
Well, wasn't there a God particle? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Higgs boson was nicknamed the God particle. So that's very funny. I like that. I appreciate that.
Oh my God. But yeah, kind of crazy. Felt when I was reading it felt quite futuristic, and I just had like the idea of like a beam hitting Earth or something. But
especially if it's opening up a whole new branch of particle physics.
Yeah,
That's right.
because they just can't figure out where it's come from or any of that kind of thing. So it's quite scary, but also very cool.
Oh, wow.
Scary and cool. That really that's all cool. Science.
That's physics.
That's
physics.
So keep our eyes out for butt-releasing organisms in the sea and
cosmic rays. Careful of bricks that might fall on your toes.
And drink a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, and drink a cup of coffee. It's like three rules to live by.
So I guess for all of our listeners out there, we hope you enjoyed listening about and learning about what's going on in science this week. And now we have another song for you guys. This is Now That We Don't Talk by Taylor Swift.
You went to a party, I heard from everybody. You part the crowd like the Red Sea, don't even get me started. Did you get anxious though, on the way home? I guess I'll never ever know, now that we don't talk. You grew your hair long, you got new icons, and from the outside it looks like you're trying lives on. I miss the old ways, you didn't have to change, but I guess I don't have a say. Now that we don't talk, I called my mom, she said that it was for the best. Remind myself the more I gave you won't be less. I cannot be your friend, so I pay the price of what I lost and what it cost. Now that we don't talk, what do you tell your friends we share dinners, long weekends with? Truth is I can't pretend it's platonic, it's just ended. So I called my mom, she said to get it off my chest. Remind myself the way you faded till I left. I cannot be your friend, so I pay the price of what I lost and what it cost. Now that we don't talk, I don't have to pretend I like acid rock, or that I'd like to be on a mega yacht with important men who think important thoughts. Guess maybe I am better off now that we don't talk. And the only way back to my dignity was to turn into a shrouded mystery, just like I had been when you were chasing me. Guess this is how it has to be now that we don't talk.
And that was Now That We Don't Talk by Taylor Swift. That's one of her From the Vault songs off of her recently re-released version of her 1989 album. And we've got the newest member of the iScience radio team with us now. Caitlin's here to talk to us about the science of superstition, which, as someone who compulsively knocks on wood every time I feel the bad juju building up on me, I am eager to know if there's any logic behind this or if I've just really lost the plot. So, Caitlin, take it away.
Well, yes, we were talking about this, and you were also telling me about a very interesting superstition that Texas is renowned for.
Yeah, one that I've never heard of anybody actually doing it, but I know a lot of people at least know about it. So it's so basically, because we have a lot of rattlesnakes in Texas, and they can get into your house and stuff, which is they're very poisonous. So it's quite worrisome. So what the old sort of wives' tale to combat that is, you're supposed to braid a rope made of horses' hair, like the hair off of their tails, and you're supposed to braid that and like hang it off from your bed, and that's supposed to prevent rattlesnakes from coming into your house, which I don't know, maybe it like tricks them into thinking there's already a snake hanging out there.
Yeah.
They just walk in and they're like, dang, the spot's taken, and they leave.
Well, I suppose it's really similar to the whole horseshoe, hanging that on a door for
Yeah,
luck.
that's a very Texas thing too.
Okay, yeah. That
What is it about horses?
I don't know. That one seems to have gone quite global. The horseshoe, that does seem to be kind of everywhere. How about you, Alex? Any superstition?
Oh, I am quite a superstitious person. One of the things that I always do is if someone like steps on my foot, if I step on their foot, I always have to make sure that they step back on mine or I step back on theirs, because then that's like for me kind of bad karma. Like I just grew up, I'm Eastern European, and I grew up with always having to kind of hit someone back or like something like that. And last week, I was really, really tired, and I came back with my flatmate, and I accidentally stepped on her foot on the way in, and I was like, oh, it'll be fine. But then I was in the shower, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I literally went back to her room, and I was like, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to step on my foot, because I literally cannot stop thinking about it. That's like my main one.
That's so funny.
And do you know where that came from? Is that a personal one, or I've not heard of that before? That's why.
Also, how many people step on your foot? Like, is it quite
I don't
regular?
know, but like if you step on someone's ankle when you're walking, for example, like even like that, and you know, if you're just in a really busy area, things. If it doesn't really matter if it's a stranger, but if it's someone that I'm close to, if you're walking, like if you're walking together and something comes in between you, like whether it's a person, it's like a separation of your narratives. And my parents always told me like you have to make up. Like you have to apologize and you have to make up and you have to like hug each other or something.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it's just an Eastern European kind of superstition that I grew up with. I've always been told it by my parents. So.
Well, that's the interesting thing, is they are very, as you would expect, I suppose, they're very culturally dependent. So different cultures grow up in kind of shapes your superstitions. Hardly anyone can escape without a few of them. So if someone sneezes, what do you say?
Bless you.
Exactly. And that's because it was thought that the devil could come and take your soul when you sneezed. So there's a lot around that about the devil and being kind of someone taking over your soul. That's like a big one. In Brazil, if you point at the stars, apparently you'll get warts on your fingers.
Really?
And we'll come back to a few more later. But in terms of the actual science, it seems to be that we are primed to link things together, because we're predictive beings, and all mammals are, and a lot of organisms generally are. So in order to learn about the world and make predictions, we automatically apply causation to things that correlate, and it's why we often misread graphs. For instance, we were talking today about COVID and how easily we are swayed into thinking that something is a cure when it's in fact not. Superstition's really, really prevalent in the world of sports. So 4 out of 5 athletes seem to have superstitious behavior, and it does actually seem that it reduces tension. So that's part of the thing with superstitions, is that if you believe you are in control of a situation, it can reduce your stress about that situation. And the numbers of superstitions rises when we have kind of societal times of crises or personal times of crises. And I know that myself, because when I used to go through exam term, I would kind of hold on to these amulets. I would have like talismans and be very, very, very attached to them. But there's also been research that shows that these are beliefs that we form when we're very young. So we kind of attach meaning to things when we're young, and we ascribe like a life or a soul to inanimate things when we're young as well. And that seems to be something that we are not very good at shaking off when we get older. And then finally, it seems that the kind of origin of superstition comes from this idea of people being overly attached to kind of pagan beliefs, or even overly attached to Christian beliefs where there wasn't any justification for believing them. So that's where the actual origin of the word comes from. And you might know that there's a lot of buildings that don't have the number 13 floor.
Yeah.
And interestingly, when they miss out the number 13, often that will encourage like conspiracy theories about that building. So, i.e., that's where COVID was invented or something like that. Ellen, any Any not conspiracy theories, any superstitions?
What conspiracy theories have you come up with?
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you a few. Well, it was kind of interesting from what you said about like athletes, because the amount of like footballers who always say like, oh, I put my left sock on before my right sock, and I feel like what you were saying, it becomes associated with like success or like a good thing. So like they'll be like, oh well, I played well that game, and that was due to that random thing, the way I put my sock on.
It's like the confirmation bias. That you think, oh, because I wore these shoes in this game, that's why we won. And then whenever you don't win, you weren't wearing those shoes, and then it just keeps getting over and over and over again, for sure. So we're gonna move on, and we're gonna go into this next song here. This is Accidentally in Love by the Counting Crows.
I'm in love, think about it every time I think about it, can't stop thinking about it. How much longer will it take to cure this? Just to cure it, cause I can't ignore it. If this love makes me wanna turn around and face me, but I don't know nothing about love. Come on, turn a little faster. Come on, the world will follow after. Come on, because everybody's after love. So I said I'm a snowball running down into the spring that's coming. All this love melting under blue skies, belting out sunlight, shimmering love. Well, baby, I surrender to the strawberry ice cream, never ever ender. All this love, well, I didn't mean to do it, but there's no escaping your love. These lines of lightning mean we're never alone, never alone. No, come on, move a little closer. Come on, I wanna hear you whisper. Come on, settle down inside my love. Come on, jump a little higher. Come on, if you feel a little lighter. Come on, we were once upon a time in love. We're accidentally in love. 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 Accidentally, I'm in love. 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 Accidentally, I'm in love. 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 Accidentally, come on, spin a little tighter. Come on, and the world's a little brighter. Come on, just get yourself inside her love. I'm in love.
And that was Accidentally in Love by the Counting Crows, a great song off the Shrek 2 soundtrack, one of the greatest albums of all time. Thank you very much. So if you have been a dedicated listener of our show these past several weeks, you will have noted that we always plug the last issue of iScience magazine at the end of our show, which has been our summer 2023 issue. And in case you haven't noticed, it's nearly December. So I bet all of our listeners have been wondering and eagerly awaiting for the announcement of the winter 2023 iScience magazine issue, especially after we had Amelia on recently to discuss the first online feature for the magazine. Well, in studio with us today, we have our humble leaders, our very kind bosses, our co-editors-in-chief, Alex and Tom, and they are here to have a chat with us and all of you about the upcoming winter 2023 issue of iScience magazine. Welcome, Tom and Alex.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So I guess I kind of want to start with asking you guys what it's been like to be the co-editors-in-chief so far. What has the experience been?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve. I think it's a little bit different to everything that we've done. I think we've both done a lot of writing and editing in our previous works, but iScience is kind of bigger, and it's very different style of publication that we've done before, but I think we've had a lot of fun with it. We've been having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we certainly have. I mean, the thing that is so different to what we've done before is that we haven't had at our disposal all this immense talent. And,
Thank you.
And that's really all our role is it's helping people explore what they want to do with the magazine and with the radio and with all sorts of like media that they want to produce, and we're just kind of helping them do that, but they're the ones that have all the talent, and that's great.
Oh, great. I mean, that's yeah. So we've been talking about it every week on the show, but can you tell us what iScience magazine is and what it aims to do?
Yeah, so we'll delve into our later issue, but Tom, you can definitely elaborate on this as well. But in iScience, we try to engage many different scientists, students, and people into writing about their own research, elevating their own voices, and basically getting confident into getting their research out there to other people, engaging the public with it as well as other researchers. Tom, would you like to talk about a little bit more?
Yeah, again, it's really a space for people to explore what the kind of content that they want to create and some of the things that they're interested in. So it's not only the topics that they're researching, but also topics that they just find interesting and think that other people want to know about. It's those types of things that you talk about in the pub or just socially, and you want to make maybe like an article on it, or you want to make a video on it, or talk about it on the radio. And really, that's the idea of the whole magazine, the whole website, is a space for that.
Yeah, that's definitely been the experience here on the radio, where it's just, if you're interested in it and you want to write about it, you can talk about it on here. So can you talk to me a little bit more about the creative process for getting the magazine together in this latest issue?
Yeah, sure. So Tom and I kind of just have an overarching role. We really try and make this team as demographic and democratic as possible. Everyone has so many different ideas, and we love hearing them all. And the ideation process really isn't just down to us. We always open it up to the floor and ask for many different ideas from our audience and from the committee. And that's kind of what led to the ideation of our new theme for our next issue. Tom, did you want to elaborate?
Yeah, exactly. So we all sat down and we all pitched ideas, and the one that we kind of settled on was after voting, after a series of voting, but the one we settled on was Unsung Science, and that has kind of different threads, and some of it, so part of it is looking at people who maybe didn't get the recognition that they deserved for some of the contributions they had to scientific research, but also some of the lesser explored areas of research. So some of the things that you don't really stop to think about much, and that just haven't been in the headlines. And other people have taken some really interesting kind of looks at that theme. So it's very diverse, it's very broad, and we hope that the next issue will surprise some people.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting topic, especially with it being a student magazine. I think that a lot of people, especially when they're early on in their career like we are, don't really get the chance to, write a feature for a magazine, or it's definitely harder to get your input into a publication like this. So I think that's really cool that we're really getting the opportunity to put our voices out there. And Unsung Science, that's such a fun title too. I love that. I can't wait for it. So are there any works in progress in this magazine? Maybe you can give us a little bit of a taster or a spoil of maybe some of the headlines that we're going to see.
Oh gosh, we have such a range of articles in this issue. We're so excited to put it out. Tom, do you have any favourites?
Oh, I wouldn't go so far to say I have favourites, but there are...
Spoken like a true editor.
Very democratic.
Yeah, there are some that I'm really excited for, and we have a team of sub-editors that works with these writers, and so they have actually had eyes on the pieces. I've had a little sneak peek at some of them, and just been really amazed by some of the great quality stuff. I've got some in front of me here. I can give a little sneak peek.
Let's hear it.
So one of them is going to be looking at the intelligence of living things. So looking at how things beyond humans, such as cephalopods like squids and octopus, bees, slime molds, primates, have this really incredible intelligence, and that's both intellectual and emotional. So there's a piece looking at that. There's some kind of under-recognized scientists and particularly mathematicians that we look at in this issue. We look at things as diverse as the chemistry behind Coca-Cola. So there's a lot. I know I just gave you 3 there, and I think that's maybe as much as I want to.
Really diverse. It sounds like there's going to be something for everybody in this. So can you let us know how people can get involved? I think the call for stories for this issue are up already, but for the next issue that's going to come up in spring, do you want to let people know how they can get involved if they want to write a piece for it? Or submit some art, or any way that they want to get involved?
Yeah, of course. So this issue is due to be published in January, and we'll be sending out a call for pictures pretty much almost straight after that issue is published. We're not 100% sure on the theme that it's going to be. We haven't put that to a vote yet. We won't do so until we're completely finished with this issue. However, we'll send out a call for pictures to everybody as soon as that's done, and that will come directly from the iScience email. Same with the artwork following that email too. However, I would bring attention to the website, which is a rolling basis. So if anyone has a feature, news article, anything they would like to document on there, we're always open for submissions, and that doesn't actually have to stick to any particular theme.
Is it anyone in the university that can contribute? Nice.
Yep.
And I have a question about the actual physical magazine. How have you gone about kind of putting that together, and is it recycled paper?
Yeah, so in terms of how we go about putting it together, well, we've sat down and we've looked at all the articles, and we're kind of getting a rough idea of the order that we want to put them in. And then it'll be a case of getting in touch with the printing company come Christmas, and we'll be looking at their options. And yes, we're looking at optimizing the amount of copies that we print to make sure that we don't have any waste, and looking at what we might be printing them on. We want it to be really great, but we are obviously trying to be, as everyone is trying to be, conscious about sustainability. So yeah, I think that's the real process. Again, we'll have a small part in making sure that all the articles are within a house style, and we've got a nice order for them, and then we pass it on to our uber talented designer who'll put their flourish on it and make it look great.
Well, it sounds like everything's coming together really nicely. So everybody out there, watch out for Unsung Science to be published in the first week of January 2024. Yeah, thank you so much for you both for being in here today to talk about this. It's really been a pleasure to have you guys with us today. And on to our next song. I've decided on another country song because Brian seems to be a secret country fan. So this is Every Girl by the Turnpike Troubadours.
Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio. She's every girl I've ever known. But she don't talk about religion, she talks about the Stones. Oh, she's Sunday kitchen, conversation with my dad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had, who never failed to cut a trail whenever times were bad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had. She's a flighty, good time buddy in a corner of the bar, but she'd fight the devil for you just for being who you are. And she's the last to cast a stone, although she'd love to leave you mad. Oh, she's every friend I've ever had. Well, she was born in the morning, late October, San Antonio.
So that was Every Girl by the Turnpike Troubadours. Brian was dancing, so I know that he's he's a country fan. But so this next segment is a favorite amongst everyone in the SciComm and the SMP courses, and we always have a lot of fun with it. It's time for Sci or Cry, our quiz show where we ask people with university degrees in science to answer questions that primary school children could answer, and our winner will receive a chocolate of their choosing from the Sheffield Building vending machine. So the motivation is in place and the stakes are high, not just your dignity, but also a piece of chocolate. I've got a bit of a fun twist this week. I've been running a little low on science trivia, and I've been getting a little bit of feedback that maybe the questions that I come up with are a little too hard. So I've asked ChatGPT this week to generate me a science quiz for primary school children, and it did. And it said, quote, "I hope these questions will be enjoyable for the children," with an exclamation point. So, children, I hope you enjoy. So now it's time to quiz our amazing guests, Tom and Alex, and to see if ChatGPT is a nicer quiz master than I am. So how are you guys feeling? Are you ready?
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I'd go so far to say I'm pretty nervous.
So we are going to alternate questions between the two of you. If the first guest gets the question wrong, the other will have a chance to answer it. And usually the questions get progressively harder. I don't know if ChatGPT got progressively harder as it was going along. But yeah, so question number 1, I guess we'll start with Alex. What do we call a baby kangaroo?
Baby kangaroo. I feel like I know this.
Tom's holding his breath. I think he knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you do. I'm not 100% sure. Is it something like a pup? Or I feel like it's got more of a quirky name, but I can't remember for the life of me.
It's not a pup. Tom, do you want to give it a shot?
Pretty sure it's a Joey.
It is a Joey. Yeah. So, yeah, baby kangaroo, it's called a Joey. And they stay in their mother's pouch for a very long time, and the reason that they do that is because they're actually born pretty premature. When they're born, they've only been gestating for about a month, and when they're born, they're the size of a jelly bean. They have no fur and they're blind, so it wouldn't be particularly advantageous for them to just pop right out and be on their own.
Have you seen a picture of them?
I have.
They are gross. Really not cute.
Yeah, they're not cute until, they stay in their mother's pouch for 6 to 9 months, so you can imagine how low on development they are when they first pop out. So question 2 to Tom. What is the name of the process by which plants make food?
I'm going to go and say photosynthesis.
It is photosynthesis. 2 points for Tom. So for photosynthesis, plants require sunlight, which they absorb with the chloroplasts in their leaves, carbon dioxide, and water to generate sugars for their food. And as a part of this process, plants also create oxygen, which they release as a byproduct that we then breathe in. And interestingly, photosynthetic phytoplankton in our oceans produce approximately 70% of the world's oxygen, whereas land-based plants only produce about 30%. So
I think that was unacceptably easy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how was I supposed to know that a baby kangaroo was a Joey?
I thought everyone
This is
knew
a
that a baby
science
kangaroo was a
university.
Joey.
I know, that is not science.
That is too science. Well, you're going to be mad because
If you give me a mean question
Chat
now.
GPT was particularly fond of what is the name of this baby animal.
I really hope it's a koala.
No, if the next one's a baby question, I can't do it. I refuse.
It's not.
Okay, good.
Okay. Question 3 then to Alex. What is the hardest substance in the human body? Don't laugh, Tom.
What?
I knew he was gonna laugh. What is the
Is
hardest
it like a
substance
trick
in the human-
question? Is it like
It's not.
bone?
Final answer,
Enamel?
bone? It is enamel.
Hey.
It's your tooth enamel.
Yes! Oh my gosh.
So yeah, tooth
Finally.
enamel is actually harder than any bone in your body. It has a score of 5 on the Mohs hardness scale, which puts it like right in the middle, not quite diamond, but still pretty good.
But these are all biology questions. I'm
Didn't you
sorry,
do
I'm being
biology,
such a
Tom?
troll with this quiz.
No, I've
There's
never done
a-
biology. Never. What is biology?
Question 4 to Tom then. True or false? Venus is on average the hottest planet in our solar system. True or false?
Oh God, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I don't know a lot about my planet. I mean, I do have a 50-50 chance.
You do
of
have a
this.
50-50 chance, so if you get it wrong, it's kind of... It automatically goes to Alex.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna go with false.
False.
I
You want to go say true then, Alex? You want to...
No, I thought it might be false as well, because it's not the closest one to the sun, is it?
Well, if it's false, then he automatically wins. But if it's true,
I'll go
then
with true then. Oh, sure. I'll go with true.
It's good because it is true. I
Ha
kind of,
ha.
I kind
No,
of fed that one down.
I was just trying to psych everyone out. I knew it was true all the way.
So
gosh.
it is true. Venus is on average 462 degrees Celsius, whereas Mercury is only about 430 degrees Celsius, and close third is Earth with an average temperature of 14 degrees Celsius. So the reason that Venus has an average higher temperature than Mercury, despite Mercury being the closest planet to the Sun, is because Mercury doesn't have an atmosphere, and because it doesn't have an atmosphere, it doesn't maintain heat well, and it can't distribute the heat evenly over the whole planet. So for the part of Mercury that's in the Sun, it can be as hot as 430 degrees Celsius, but for the part of Mercury that's in the dark, the temperature can drop as low as negative 180 degrees Celsius. So, but Venus's atmosphere is almost made of entirely carbon dioxide, and which, as we all know, is a greenhouse gas that traps sunlight and keeps it near the surface, which is why it's so hot. So, I will give the next question to Alex then. Oh, they're both biology questions, so you're just
Tell
gonna have to
about
go
babies.
with it. The next question would be a baby animal one, but I'll save it for Tom.
Thank
I'll give you
I
the
really
next one.
appreciate that.
So, what is the smallest unit of life?
The smallest unit of life.
Mhm.
Like other than like a eukaryote, a prokaryote, or one of those.
sounds deep. This does.
Oh, is it not that deep?
I'll give it to you.
It's a
with
primary school
that.
question.
Yeah, I'll give it
Oh.
to you because it is the cell, which are prokaryotes
Oh.
and eukaryotes.
I was
so-
gonna go for like within a cell, like even like a mitochondria or something, or like or endoplasmic reticulum, or
No,
ribosome even.
No, the smallest unit of life is a cell because it's
It's part of
like
everything.
the
Yeah.
endoplasmic reticulum can't like think by
yeah,
itself.
definitely.
Well,
Well,
except
I don't know
that-
if one cell can think by itself.
No, Brian just came into my ear and asked about viruses. Viruses are technically not alive.
Is this true? I was gonna say-
Controversial.
and
but
also,
technically the consensus
mitochondria.
is now that they're not alive.
Mitochondria exist because a prokaryote basically ate
Yes,
another prokaryote.
exactly.
So,
it would be a prokaryote.
if you're talking about, a unit of life,
Would I get an extra point if I'm right over ChatGPT?
I think the children
No, because
would love this.
I checked all of the answers, and the consensus on Google on like 4 or 5 different websites is that it's, or at least the 4 or 5 different websites that I checked, is it's the cell is the smallest unit of life. We'll check it after the show, but just to see what the consensus on mitochondria and viruses are. But I'll give it to Alex for now.
Thank you.
because
I
Yeah.
appreciate your generosity.
So then, Tom, you have to get this question right to time to go to our bonus question. And that is, Tom, what are baby rabbits called?
Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate this again.
Brian
I'd just like to say that
just very helpfully. Yeah,
there is a rabbit impression going on by Tom, as though that is going to help him. That by pretending to do
ears up, that he can think. He's calling on all of the rabbits in the universe. What are your babies called?
I know.
Babies called. I bet you do. Oh, I'm going to say something that's probably really silly, and just say Bunny.
I knew you were just going to say
Everybody
bunny.
says bunny. That's just like, actually, when I was looking this up, they were like, you might think it's bunny, but it's not.
It's a kit.
It's a kit. Yes, it's a kitten.
Gosh,
it's actually a kitten.
See, I was thinking puppy.
Kitten or kit. Yeah, I was thinking puppy. No, so they're called, baby rabbits are called kittens. Rabbits have a very short gestational period of 31 days, which is why they can reproduce so fast. Wow. Some other unique names for baby animals: a baby seal is a pup. A baby oyster is called a spat. A baby porcupine is called a porcupet. And a baby fish is called a fry.
Aww.
So,
oh dear, that's a bit dark.
Yeah.
Rabbits are kind of struggling in the UK. They've had so many diseases introduced by humans, one being toxoplasmosis, and then the other one was from French rabbit farms, that we've actually lost like massive amounts of our rabbit population. It's having really big knock-on effects. So they're having to build these little rabbit houses to encourage them back into the wild.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, I think that means that Alex has won.
I think I won.
Yeah, Caitlin probably. I think Caitlin won. We can split the chocolate bar.
No, it's all yours. It's all yours.
So generous.
So that's all for the quiz show today. Alex is our winner. So hopefully everyone out there hopefully everyone out there managed to answer all the questions, because ChatGPT made them up. So
yeah.
Anyways, we've got more iScience fun for you after this song. This is Stick Season by Noah Kahan.
As you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined, you must have had yourself a change of heart like halfway through the drive, because your voice trailed off exactly as you passed my exit sign. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Now I am stuck between my anger and the blame that I can't face, and memories or something even smoking weed does not replace. And I am terrified of weather, cause I see you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol.
Okay, I thought you were trying to get me to sing on air.
And dream each night of some version of you that
I like this song. I like the lyrics of it, and I like the guitar. It's kind of more
tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. So I thought that if I piled something good and all my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. No, I am no longer funny, cause I missed the way you laughed. You once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. Oh, that'll have to do. My other half was you. I hope this pain's just passing through, but I doubt it. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. And I saw your mom, she forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault, but I just like to play the victim. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas, and I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now you're tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half. That'll have to do, have to do.
So we are reaching the end of our show. We all hope you had as much fun as we did. Thank you to our guests, Tom, Alex, Ellen and Caitlin for joining us, and thanks to Brian for managing production. On this broadcast. If you would like to follow us on social media, you can on Twitter at iScience Media, on Instagram at iScience Media, Facebook is iScience, YouTube is at iScience Magazine. You can also find the latest issue of iScience Magazine. It's still Connections, our summer 2023 issue. You can find copies around campus or visit isciencemag.co.uk. And if you are interested in contributing to our next issue, our spring 2023 issue, you can go online to isciencemag.co.uk or any of our social medias, or you can email us at i.science@imperial.ac.uk. And that's all for our show. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to play you out with this song. This is Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen.
Show.